Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to my AEW Dynamite review. A lot of big things happen on this show tonight, especially a lot of matches being built up for the big Arthur Ashe Stadium show next week, which we will get into because they did build a lot of matches tonight. But still, a lot of big things happen on this show, too. Kicking it off with CM Punk coming out, big pop as usual. CM Punk making his entrance, once again jumping in the crowd and whatnot, taking a big victory lap around the ring, just hanging with the fans, just happy to see them and whatnot. Some would say CM Punk, the guy just looks genuinely happy out there, which is cool to see. Too, like I said, just kicking it with the fans. It looked, it did look really cool for him still doing that. But CM Punk being the guest commentator tonight, honestly, I'd rather keep him out here than Excalibur. Actually, if Excalibur was back this week, but I still think it was a breath of fresh air without him on commentary last week. But yeah, CM Punk has always been great on commentary in the past. So you know he's always going to say something funny out here because or whatever he's going to say, it's going to sound great. So I've seen that in the past. It's always sound good. But with Punk on commentary, we did kick it off with Adam Cole. Big pop for him. Of course, he's doing the whole Adam Cole Bebe thing. This is his first televised match on AEW as he went against Frankie Kazarian. Um, Good match. Very good match to kick off the show. Cole winning with the last shot, so that was enjoyable to see. Cole got on the microphone, say it's time for story time with Adam Cole, baby. And, hope is a dangerous thing. And, everybody in the locker room that can't keep up with the elite. And it's three guys that are in his skin right now. Christian Cage, Jungle Boy, and Luchasaurus. And basically called them out next week for a six-man tag against the elite, or the Super Click is back. Listen, I get people that have no idea what the Super Click is. Basically, the Super Click was just the Young Bucks and Adam Cole, one of these Bullet Club subgroups at the time. I'm sure a lot of people may not care for it and whatnot, but I'm sure anyone's going to buy a t-shirt if they put it out right now. But yeah, the Super Click, mostly in Ring of Honor, I think it was, or New Japan. Like, I do remember them having t-shirts too. So yeah, they were called the Super Click or whatever and whatnot. I know some probably would not really care for it. Maybe they will, especially if you watch them for that long. But I was like, oh, okay, I remember that, the Super Click. But yeah, six-man tag they got going on next week. The Butcher and the Blade, I guess, will begin a title shot against the Lucha Brothers this Friday on Rampage for whatever reason. So that's happening. Fuego del Sol was in the back with his new Hyundai car, Sammy Guevara. Um, offering a challenge to Miro, putting his car on the line for the TNT title. So let me get this straight right here. So this is the same Fuego del Sol guy that they gave a contract to, even though he lost a whole bunch of times. You basically, okay, we're gonna sign to a contract. Yeah, you jobbed in that, what, you were 1 in 100 something, but yeah, we're still gonna give you a job. And didn't Miro kill this guy in like what, 1 minute? So now he wants to put his car on the line. I'm sure Miro can already afford enough cars. The guy's got money, so I guess he can just, add another car to his collection, a Hyundai and everything. But this really makes no sense. Like, why does this guy even deserve another title shot? And it's like they gave this guy a contract. Yeah, it's still funny. Everybody says, like, well, it was a nice moment. Okay, but you still gave a contract to a jobber. So, like, hey, you lost, you got your ass kicked and everything, but hey, we're still going to give you a job, though. What? That doesn't make a lot of sense. So, I just think it's funny when sometimes I say, oh, it's a good moment. It's a good moment. Like, dude, I didn't even know who the fuck this dude even was. So, I'm like, you just gave a job guy a contract for losing. Okay, doesn't make sense. And now he wants to go back and put his car on the line. That makes no sense. MJF and Wardlow came out. Once again, talk about Brian Pillman Jr. And, we're here in the cesspool of New Jersey, the armpit of America. It is Jersey, okay? And, that Bruce Springsteen, Taylor Ham, and the New York, Islanders suck harder than the Jersey Shore Skank. So here's just burying New Jersey out here. And, you want to talk about Brian Pillman then. And, let's talk to, Brian Pillman Sr., which he looked up and then he looked down. Basically, I guess saying he's in hell right now. So he's looking down, talking about Brian Pillman, talking about, his wife, Methany or whatnot, or Melanie. Listen, if you've seen Dark Side of the Ring, you'll know what I'm talking about or what he's talking about out there. But we're gonna be in Queens next week. Bryan, I'm gonna massacre your son. All right, and chant fans did start chanting Pillman and everything. And then next, Brian Pillman Jr. did come out. MJF told Wardlow to go up to the stage, but Pillman came out, I guess, from the crowd or whatnot with a chair. MJF started begging in. Wardlow came in. MJF got a dodge. MJF ended up slapping him. Wardlow tried to charge at him, but MJF, I'm sorry. I keep saying MJF. Pillman Jr. slapped Wardlow, and then he charged at Pillman Jr., and Pillman Jr. basically pulled the ropes down and knocked him out of the ring. And next thing you know, we got a backstage interview with JR, interviewing Brian Pillman Jr., talking about how his dad talked about he had his newborn son and whatnot. And Pillman Jr. say, he said he's going to get payback on MJF. Because JR said, you were embarrassed last week, for your dad, for yourself, and, you got humiliated and whatnot. And JR says, you need to whip MJF's ass next week, okay, for the sake of your family and whatnot. And Pillman Jr. said, he felt like he let his dad down, but now he's going to, like I said, he's going to get MJF. He's going to take him out. He didn't come from a lavish upbringing and whatnot. He had to fight to where he is right now. So next week, he's going to unleash just that upbringing on an MJF next week. So good promo from Pillman Jr. They've really been building up to be a sympathetic face out there. But come on, the guy's still going to lose to MJF. I think we all see that coming. I'd be surprised if he beats him. So still not a bad segment though. Next, Jungle Boy and them, I guess, accepted the challenge for Adam Cole next week. FTR went against Matt Sydal and Dante Martin. Dante Martin, I will say this. I know his brother's hurt right now. I know he's on his own, but at least they've given this guy some shine out here every other week, giving him a chance and whatnot to showcase. So I know he's not getting a lot of wins, but he is getting TV time. So not bad for him out there. Not bad at all. He was good out there tonight with FTR. FTR still getting the win with the Shatter Machine on Dante Martin, but this was pretty good match. Not bad at all. Next, CM Punk. Since everybody on Twitter has been talking about this in the past few days and made memes of it, I guess AEW wanted in on the fun also. The Suzuki Incident. Basically, since Minoru Suzuki's music was not played last week and cut off, which I'm sure we all complained about and whatnot, I guess now, there needs to be justice. Someone needs to pay for shutting the music off. We should be blaming Tony Khan, whoever's in the back in charge of music. Basically, Lance Archer and Minoru Suzuki were backstage, and Suzuki Goon basically was an unfair advantage last week because of Cincinnati, but now they're in New York next week. And basically, we're going to show you what Strong Style is all about. So I guess it's going to be a tag match or whatnot, but that's the thing with the Suzuki incident. They are very pissed off, folks. It was a tragedy. It'll be a future Dark Side of the Ring episode. The Suzuki incident. I think it's funny, though. But I think it's kind of funny that AEW kind of wants, we're going to get along into this, too, since everybody's had some type of meme about it. I was there, man. When they didn't play the Kase Nina Ray and the music, I was flabbergasted. I was pissed. I think someone needed to die or be shot for whoever shut off that music. By God, man, someone called a damn Avengers or something. Malachi Black came out, got on the microphone, talked about the House of Black, telling everybody to rise, but there's an enemy among us. Next thing you know, they showed Rosario Dawson, who was in the crowd. I guess she's on, Cody's other TV show and whatnot, the Go Home Big Win thing on TBS. And, Rosario Dawson, she's got the Nightmare Family gear on and stuff. And then next, she just goes to the ringside area. No security tries to stop her. Tries to go for Black. Cody, who ended up coming through the crowd, which he got a pretty good pop. I think it would have worked better if they saved, if they didn't announce the match for the Arthur Ashe Stadium last week. They should have waited for the surprise. Let Cody show up, then get the big pop, then announce that the match is going to be next week. Don't announce the match last week, and then he comes this week, and then he doesn't get that big of a reaction as everybody would have expected him to get. And Rosario Dawson was just beating up Malachi Black then. Some would say she put up a bigger fight than all the Nightmare Family crew and whatnot. And like I said, she jumps on him, and Cody comes through the crowd with his red suit on. Didn't get the Jesus entrance this time, but, him and Black fight through the crowd then. until they go to commercial. So at least they are hyping that big matchup for next week with Cody and Black. But I still think they should have saved, just him showing up by surprise. Don't announce the match last week. Announce it tonight after what he did here tonight. That would have been better. Anna Jay was being interviewed to go against the Bunny this Friday on Rampage. Why am I still seeing this match between either the Bunny, Anna Jay, or even Tay Conti? Because I still think that match was garbage there in Chicago a few weeks ago. Anna Jay did get interviewed, though. I guess they still have the Dark Order Civil War or Bullet Club Civil War or whatever they copy and pasted from. I don't really care. Dan Lambert was out there cutting another one of his truth promos and whatnot. Even had Paige Van Zant out there. I see several MMA fighters and, Sky and Ethan Page out there basically talked about, all these wrestlers at the merch stands, that all these fans that sold out of, men's small and women's extra large t-shirts. You guys love looking at 5'8" guys that can land 22 super kicks and do like some 630 moonsault through like 10 tables off a ladder. Well, he's not lying about that, especially when it comes to, I should say, the indies. But, they're all going to kick out at 2, even though they went through all of that. And he's cutting his true promo. Let me say Dan Lambert yells a lot, too. Chris Jericho comes out then. We haven't seen him since All Out, him and Jake Hager. Lambert tells him to shut the music off. Nobody doesn't know the lyrics of your song. Everybody ends up still singing the song, and then Jericho called him a fat-faced dipshit. He says, fat-faced dipshit, yeah, fat-faced dipshit, yeah, whatever it went. And then Lambert saying, well, you're spending your allowance on this terrible show. And Jericho, you're surrounded by your little MMA meatheads, and which one's on top and whatnot. And, I fought MMA trained guys my entire career. Jake Hager's undefeated in MMA right now. And, come down there and knock down your teeth down your throats. And, you got your American top teams and whatnot. As Lambert said, we're going to take down the inner circle jerk and whatnot. But it won't be in this shithole New Jersey. That's facts right there. And, it's going to be in New York City, the biggest city of them all. Jericho called them a bunch of pussies and whatnot. And, you won't be able to escape from New York from us then. So, good promo and whatnot. Kind of random to have a match next week for this, out there at Stadium, but I guess they need Jericho on the card one way or another, so he's going to, battle Dan Lambert and them. So Dan Lambert, good promo overall from everybody. I think Lambert yells a lot in his promos, but another one of his true promos again this week. Not bad at all. Jericho, he's naming all these MMA guys he fought or whatnot or survived against. I may need to go look that back up. Next, we got a Gun Club promo. Billy Gunn and them talk about they've been disrespecting they talk about the wins they've been getting. So, we've earned this respect and whatnot. So, just say when we're going to take anyone out and whatnot. So we demand the respect. Don't know where that's going to go, but at least Billy and them are getting some TV time. Jay Cargo against Layla Hirsch. Not a bad match. Obviously, just to make Jay look very strong. It's probably her longest match she's had out there on her own and whatnot. But this wasn't that bad between her and Hirsch. Jade still ended up getting the win, with the finish and whatnot, the glam slam, or whatever you want to call her finisher right now. But this was not a bad match, though. But like I said, this is probably her longest time out there, and they made her look really strong. So, Jade, they are still pushing. CM Punk, I guess they went to talk about Chavo and Andrade. I guess Chavo's out. That was kind of fast, and I know Andrade had subtitles. So yeah, we get rid of the manager that's talking for you, and now we got the assistant talking for him, or whoever's talking out this whole thing. I'm just waiting for them to bring Ric Flair in at this point with Andrade. That's what I expect to happen. Next, CM Punk, I guess, as you said at the table, Taz and them walked out. Hook and Powerhouse Hobbs end up attacking him. Let me say one thing about this before I finish this whole segment. What is everybody's fascination with Hook versus CM Punk? Like, dude, we haven't even really seen Hook wrestle yet, so why should we really want to see him against CM Punk right now? Like, Hook this, Hook that. Like, the guy has not even wrestled yet, so I don't see what everybody's fascination is with him right now. But they end up beating up CM Punk. Hobbs ended up putting him through the table, and the table did not break. I am the table. Botchamania. So, yeah, that was a very rough bump, though, at the same time. He did not go through the table. They tried to make this look brutal, and I don't know where to get these tables from nowadays, but I'm seeing a lot more tables in wrestling not break. So, what did you expect? well, maybe not what you expect, but yeah, these tables don't seem to be breaking. So yeah, I am the table. Darby Allin went against Sean Spears. I think we all know how this was going to go. Darby Allin getting the win with the coffin drop. Not surprising. Right after FTR showed up, they attacked Sting and Darby then. Sting and Darby end up fighting back. Tully got in with a chair. He hit Sting with it. Sting no-sold it. Went after Tully, but FTR them taking him out. And they gave him a spike power driver, surprisingly. So Sting still taking big, heavy bumps out there. And next week, Sting and Darby versus FTR. So Sting will wrestle again next week, folks. Sting will wrestle again. Tony Schiavone was in the ring for an interview with Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson came out. He's the American Dragon and whatnot. And Bryan talked about this match with Kenny Omega. But before he can even say anything, Don Callis came out, calling him a hippie millionaire. We're tired of hearing from you. You're a sanctimonious son of a bitch. And you just agonize on this hard decisions for this contract. And now you want to come here and go against the guy that has built this company. And Cal's basically said, you join AEW, you're trying to do what's best for the wrestling business, but, maybe you're the carny piece of shit right here. And, basically, he told Omega, said Omega, told him, that's basically what you are, a mark, like a lot of these fans. But Bryan told him to shut up. I want to speak to Kenny. He said, Omega, one day we will fight for this title, but now we need to see who's the best right now. But Cal's tried to get involved. Bryan's, called him a piece of shit then. And he's like, listen, man, I think you're missing your balls and whatnot. I want to fight the best around here. I want to fight the best bout machine and the god of pro wrestling and whatnot. But all I've seen you is just hanging around with a bunch of goofball stooges and whatnot, which ain't that the truth. But Bryan said, you lost a step. You lost it. Like you say, you don't have your balls and whatnot. But then, he asked for him a match one more time. Yes or no? Omega kept it brief. So you want to face the god of pro wrestling, the best bout machine? The answer is yes. So, okay, good, better promo, especially from last week. Better than last week's. At least they kept Kenny brief and they kept him more serious. He didn't sound like a goofball. Listen, I don't really like Kenny Omega talking on the microphone in general because he sounds very bad and he's not really a good promo. Callis wasn't that bad here. Bryan wasn't that bad here. So, yeah, we're getting one-on-one, Arthur Ashe Stadium. Of course, you need Bryan in a big setting next week for the match. It's not for the title. It's just to prove who is the best, and it's about bragging rights right now. So, this was a better promo. I will say that. So, yeah, at least Kenny didn't sound like a goofball. Matt Hardy, I do not really care whatever he's doing with Orange Cassidy. Next, Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston went against Everrise 2.0. I still think it's hilarious that they had that interview, that little post interview with Tony Khan and them. And Tony Khan trying to defend Everrise to death like they were some big names for some reason. I'll give them one thing. They get a lot of TV time, but come on. I don't know why everybody is acting like Everrise is the shit all of a sudden once they came to AEW. They get a lot of main event time and TV time, but dude, they're not the shit, okay? But Moxie and Kingston basically made quick work of them. Basically went about like a clothesline exploder suplex then. Minoru Suzuki came out, which, yes, folks, we didn't get another Suzuki incident, so they did play all of Minoru Suzuki's music. KAZE ni NARE, of course, everybody shouts once he gets in the ring. Archer attacked Kingston from behind. Both Suzuki Gun end up attacking Moxley and Kingston. Mox and Suzuki brawled near the timekeeper area, basically on top of the table. Moxley was going to take him out, but Suzuki Dodge was going to go for the power driver, but basically Mox ended up hitting him in a microphone to the eye, especially that injured eye, from Suzuki last week. But then they ended up brawling with each other before the show went off the air again. So at least they didn't show anybody going through the table in the end, because that probably would have made it obvious who was going to win this whole thing. But at least Suzuki is not a one-off right now in AEW, and we are kind of keeping this going. And this Suzuki Gun incident shit has kind of helped too, all right? But, tonight, not a bad show. Like I said, it was a lot of build-up, especially for next week. Some would say a pay-per-view worthy show. 2 hours of Dynamite, 2 hours of Rampage, a 4-hour show technically, but we're trying to spread this out as much as possible. But this is a very big card they are leading into next week. Like I said before, almost pay-per-view worthy, but it's going to be on big TV. But this is the biggest crowd they have ever done, I believe, for this Arthur Ashe Stadium show in New York. So we will see how that goes. But they really did stack up a lot for next week. So it's going to be a big week next week for AEW. Let's see how it goes, okay? But other than that, I'm out of here. Comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think about AEW Night. What did you like? What did you not like? Comment, subscribe. I already said comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at HoodedKnight890. But tell me what you just think about the show. Tell me what you think about any other review that is online right now, especially from NXT 2.0 last night. Do you like the new NXT? Do you not like the new NXT? Tell me what you thought on that. But yeah, like I said, tell me what you thought about AEW. I'm repeating myself. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.